Bonjour people, and here we are again with another toy review. This time we are looking at the Star Wars Black Series, Jaina Solo. So who is Jaina Solo? Because she's not in any of the films and she's not in any of the current expanded universe media. Well, in the Legends continuity, she was the daughter of Han Solo and Leia Organa. Now, again, in the films, she doesn't exist. They have Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, whose Legends counterpart was Jaina's brother, Jacen Solo. So the canon counterpart to Jaina, in effect, for better or for worse, is Rey. I'll leave it up to you to decide between yourselves which character is better. That's not a debate I'm going to get into here, but this is the figure that was released for Jaina a few years ago now, and I love it. It's a great little figure, and I was very excited for it to come out. I'd not actually read any of the old stories that she was a part in, but I know the legacy surrounding this character and what she gets up to. So, this representation of Jaina, she is clad in a black pilot's uniform. This is basically just a black version of the orange X-Wing / Rebellion uniform that you saw all the time in the original trilogy. We will first of all have a good look at her face, and it is sculpted really nicely. The expression that she bears is kind of a representation of Han Solo. She has his classical smirk, and they might have done like I want to say face morph, but that's not quite the right way of describing it, but they might have combined Leia's face and Han's face to kind of get an approximation of what a child of theirs would look like. She has long brown hair, which is tied into a ponytail in the back, so that's quite a nice detail, and it's beautifully sculpted. Coming down, she is showing a bit of cleavage. She has yellow stripes, which accent the body glove of the suit really nicely. It kind of reminds me a bit, actually. If anybody's watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then they might be familiar with the look of Daisy's costume from season 3. It's almost identical to that, weirdly. So coming on down, we have some detailing on her arms. It's not painted, however, but there is some... I'll try and get it in focus for you. Along here, there are some moulded in stripes. Again, it's a bit of a pity that they're not painted. Continuing to pan down her torso, we'll notice that she has the belt of Han Solo, his iconic belt, and to top it off, his iconic blaster. She has a purple lightsaber of her own. We'll come back to that. We'll just continue to pan down. The yellow stripes continue to be present on the legs, both on the inside and the outside. And I've kind of learnt that striped trousers is like a Corellian sort of thing, and Han is from Corellia. And you've got knee-high boots to finish off the look. So she has a really, really, really nice design. Taking a look at accessories, we shall start with her lightsaber. I usually put it in her left hand just because I find that it holds it better. Her right hand is sculpted to hold the blaster, so I make her left-handed. Now, whether we'll be able to focus in... Here we go. So Jaina has a purple lightsaber, as she does in the old expanded universe. The hilt does have some interesting detailing to it. You probably won't be able to make it out. But it's primarily a dark grey handle, which is meant to pass as black. She has a purple button there. There's a couple of black horizontal stripes that go all the way round. The hand grip is ribbed. There is a gold button along the very bottom there, and there is a belt hook, which actually works. And we're going to tear off the lightsaber blade, which I remember used to be really difficult to tear off. And we're going to just lift her arm up. Now, bear in mind that this belt hook is really soft rubber, and it doesn't feel very good putting it on, but you can do it. And there she is, with the lightsaber attached. In terms of the blaster, I want to say DL34. somebody will correct me. This is straight up Han's blaster. It's a dark grey as well. It's a black handle. There's like meant to be black leather along the handle of the gun, and it's just the classical look that we're all familiar with from the films. Blocky and iconic. And she can just slot that in her hand. Her finger goes through the trigger, and there we go. She can hold it. Lovely stuff. But they're not the only accessories that Jaina comes with. We're going to take off the lightsaber, and we are now going to come to this. And this is her pilot apparatus, for lack of a better term. You see pilots in the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy wearing this all the time. It's like a, I don't know what you call it, maybe like a life support system or something, or extra controls, but either way, they usually wear these things over their pilot suits, and with a bit of shenanigans, you can put this on her. So you put the loops, or you put her legs through the loops, and you have to slide it up, and then you open it up, you pop her arm through the gap, and then you've got to try and get all of the plastic bits around the ponytail and around the hair strands so they sit underneath. So that's Jaina fully equipped with her full-on flight suit. It looks really, really nice, don't get me wrong, but I prefer to display her without it. I don't know, I just prefer looking a bit more streamlined rather than having all of this, for lack of a better term, kibble on. But, you know, it's part of the pilot aesthetic and it suits her, it does look good. But it does hinder articulation a little bit, especially these hoops along the bottom, which I don't particularly know why they're there. I don't know their function. We're not quite done. We're going to explore detail, but first of all, she also has a helmet. Standard black Rebel helmet. No chin strap per se, but you've got a yellow visor, clear yellow, so you can see her eyes through it. You've got the Rebellion symbol, or it might be the New Republic symbol by this point, actually. In fact, it is the New Republic symbol. It's not the Rebellion symbol at all. You've got some... I don't really know what that is. You've got some markings along the side. I was going to suggest that they were like kill tallies or something, but I don't think they are that, considering that it's identical on the other side. You've got a yellow strip that runs from the crest there to the bottom, and you've got an exposed or elongated like fin sort of thing, and that just slots right over her head like that. And that looks good as well. The whole aesthetic of this figure looks really, really good. Going back to the rest of the flight suit, you can see there's the control panel here. There's primarily black and blue, with its main colour being like a light grey, really light bluish hue to it. The vest itself has nice detailing. It's ribbed all over. And then, yeah, you've got the hoops that go all the way down, which really do hinder her articulation. To get all of this off, same really as before, just in reverse, you can just pull off the helmet, detach that bit there, then come to her there and just detach that, and then really just shimmy it all off. There you go, you pull it off like that, and then you pull it off like that. It's much easier to get off rather than it is to put it on. In terms of articulation, Jaina can turn her head roughly about that far left or right, and she can turn it roughly about that far right or left, depending on what perspective you're looking at the figure from. Her hair does get in the way. It is soft rubber, but it's not soft enough to not be a hindrance to her articulation, unfortunately. That's as far as she can look up, because again, ponytail prevents her, and she can look down about that far. She has the ability to move her arms up that high. She can rotate from a full 360 degrees. She can rotate them all the way around like that as well. She has a double bend at the elbow, making a plus 90-degree bend. She can rotate her wrists around 360 degrees. She can bend this one inward and outward. And she can the other as well. I only went one by one there because I thought just off the top of my head that the wrists might have different articulation to one another, because you can see that sometimes in figures. She has ab crunches. She can go that way and she can bend back a ridiculous amount. And then she's got a further crunch in the lower torso. Like that. And an extreme amount that way. She can rotate all the way around at the torso as well. She can spread her legs that far. Now she can kick this leg out that far, and she can kick it back that far, but she can't with the other leg because of the holster, and it's not even tabbed in there, it's sculpted in. The presence of the belt hinders her, so she can kick back that far, but she can only kick forward that far. She has a swivel at the upper leg, but quite tight on mine. You can tell I don't play with her a lot. She has a nice double bend at the knees, and then she has ankle pivot, and she can move her feet up and down on both legs. So she's got a lot of articulation, a ridiculous amount. This is one of the most articulated figures I own. I will say Jaina is a little bit difficult to stand. On a good day you can get her doing poses and just standing on her own without much difficulty, but on a bad day, I don't know if it's because of the ankle pivot or just the moulding of her feet, them being relatively petite, but sometimes, my point being, she can be very difficult to stand up. For size comparison, here she is next to two fellow Jedi. On her right, our left, is her canon counterpart, Rey, and on her left, our right, we have Black Series Clone Wars Ahsoka. So you can see how well they scale together. All three are the size of deluxe class Transformers. On the whole, Jaina Solo is an excellent figure. She has beautiful sculpting all over, beautiful paintwork all over, and is highly articulated. As I said earlier, one of the most articulated figures I own, and for those specific reasons alone, she is a top tier figure and a must get for any Star Wars collector, even if you don't know who she is. And even if you are only familiar with the films or the current canon under Disney, I would still recommend getting her, because you can just treat her as another Jedi for your collection. Plus she's got a purple lightsaber. I mean, come on. We need more people with purple lightsabers. Mace Windu cannot be the only example. In fact, he's not, because I'm thinking of Venestra Rowe from the High Republic. Purple lightsabers are the best, yeah? Yes. So, that's Jaina. Absolutely recommended. Get her if you can. You won't be disappointed. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. And until the next time, see you all later.